Passport bro stuff. Basically, the reality on the ground versus, what people are expecting when they're coming out, especially because, well, to be honest, everything you see on YouTube is like rose tinted glasses or curated in a way to get you excited because it gets clicks. Half the times, the guys will obviously be paying for the girls and they won't tell you, or, they're putting on a show of what it's really like, dropping a ton of money on, God, what could you call them other than prostitutes? Chicks they meet off of Tinder that are like offering themselves for money, hang around bar girls, shit like that, hang around other people that are doing, some conspicuous things in town that they shouldn't be, like throwing those little parties that you see at those penthouses with like the 20 girls and all that stuff, and really cringy stuff. And it's the pastoral lifestyle is really divided into two different camps. It's like the guys that go to live overseas and establish a life there and actually get married and meet traditional women, or the dudes that are kind of passing through, having fun, and they're making their like Instagram, YouTube, whatever, TikTok content on there. And it couldn't be any more different from one another. But you've seen the videos everybody has. They'll go viral on TikTok or whatever. They make it look effortless, like, for example, the Western guys living like kings in Southeast Asia, or I haven't seen too many Eastern Europe stuff because the money is a bit higher in terms of cost of living here, but for sure Southeast Asia and Latin America, they have really low cost of living. They have, beautiful traditional women. It's an escape for like Western dating culture completely, and all the economic pressures too, which is why a lot of guys choose to go overseas. So you're thinking like you're going to pack your laptop, you're going to book this one-way ticket and start living your best life. Like, my life's a movie, bro, and everything changes for you. But between those Instagram posts and the YouTube success stories, and they're true, some of them are true. It is true. I'm living one of the true ones, right? But there's a lot that they don't really talk about. And I've kind of touched base on my own channel about some things, like, for example, the bureaucratic nightmare. It's real, and dealing with foreign governments is a pain in the ass, and that's an absolute understatement. My process went really easy because my uncle had connections to smooth over all the bullshit. So my paperwork was rapid. I mean, talking about like passports and all that stuff, driver's license, everything was done. And I had a passport or a driver's license within a couple of days after applying for them. And so those kinds of connections you won't have as an expat coming into a brand new place. Unless, of course, you have these little Facebook groups or these expat communities that you go to where you'll have to pay for somebody to smooth over things for you. But yeah, most guys won't have those kinds of contacts. So there's also the cultural barriers, and these will never fully disappear. The brutal truth is you're always going to be an outsider. And the fact that whether you think you're in paradise, it will always be a trade-off. There's always some set of problems you're going to have to deal with. It's not just mojitos and palm trees and beautiful women all the time. Yes, you do things right, it'll be a massive upgrade. But before you're thinking about cashing that 401k, if you're going to end up listening to this on YouTube later, you're one of these old geezers that, put in a lifetime of work and they want to call it book a flight and just disappear. You have to really consider all these angles, because the money situation is just one thing, right? So that's typically the main selling point, especially if you're on a really fixed income, like the pensioners, which is why I see so many old dudes in the Philippines, for example. It goes far in a lot of these countries. But what those lifestyle or passport bro guru types don't emphasize is that maintaining the Western income while living abroad, if you're not on a pension, is a kind of hard. Actually, it almost depends on you. So remote work sounds great. For example, when you're in the United States and you have a really regular schedule, but when you're dealing with time zone conflicts, for example, we have this call right now with the community. It's already 9:15 here at night. And for you guys, it could be 12 noon or as late as 3 in the afternoon if you're on the East Coast. So for you, it's midday or barely noon. But for me, it's already turning into bedtime, essentially. So imagine if you have clients that are trying to call you or do business with you, maybe at 6 o'clock in the afternoon or 7, 8 after work. Sometimes it happens, or dealing with emails. Some may be urgent. And you're going to be asleep. It'll be like 4 in the morning for you. And if you really want to have your phone on and get those notifications, then your sleep schedule is going to be absolute shit. And that's a reality that you're going to have to deal with. So depending on what kind of work you do will depend on your quality of life in terms of that time zone and how easy it is to actually do business. That's something they hardly ever mention, right? What's another one? Remote work, unreliable internet. We touched up on this right before the call. Infrastructure is kind of shit in a lot of these cheaper parts of the world. You do have your cafes or some of the other places where you can go and have decent internet, but that's not always a reliable connection, and that's not always fast enough for what you need. If you're doing something that requires good internet speed, uploading large files, or you might even have clients that get nervous when they realize you're operating it from a different continent. Like if you're doing something almost like freelancing or consulting of any kind, something like that, and they realize you're out of state, it might seem scammy to them. So that could put off some clients for you too. And then you have the foreign tax obligations and all the banking restrictions that come along with that stuff too. So there are some headaches here, but if you can solve your internet problem and keep your business afloat like that, you're good. The foreign tax obligations and the banking restrictions, that is really up to the person. You're supposed to, I know a ton of expats that will not report that income. For example, all the guys in like Thailand or the Philippines, they keep it all in the United States. But there have been new laws, I think in Thailand, where they're going to start coming after the taxes of these retired people that are now living there, potentially. I don't know if it fully passed. Somebody in the comment section or here, maybe in the call might know, but interesting to think about in the future that your tax obligations may change in these countries. They might not be your little retirement place for long, a little haven for you. So that's for the guys that actually have a successful business. Now, there's some dudes that I've spoken to as well. They might need local employment. So they saved up some money, but they're interested in getting a job in the local market. That 500 that those people earn might go far for like a backpacker, dude. But when you're trying to live in this country with these wages, wherever country you go to, building a real life somewhere else is going to be very difficult. You're going to almost be at a one-to-one disadvantage of how you were struggling. For example, let's just say if you were struggling in the United States and complaining about cost of living, if you go overseas on an overseas income, you're going to be complaining about the same thing and probably have a worse quality of life overall. The cost advantage that made the move appealing, it'll start disappearing when you want things like, Western standard healthcare or the reliable internet we mentioned before, or a decent apartment in a safe neighborhood. Here in Eastern Europe, it's all safe, but some of the guys in some of the South American or Asian countries, depending on where they are, they're not actually that safe. So you might have to pay a little more than maybe you're comfortable with or your budget allows. So a lot of guys find themselves in kind of a strange middle ground. They're not poor enough to live like a local, but you're also not rich enough to live like the wealthy expats that you'd imagine yourself becoming. So that's the internet side and the online side and running a business. But then there's the whole government bureaucracy, and nobody really talks about just how difficult that can become. And every country has its own maze of visa requirements, residency permits, tax obligations, and all this regulatory bullshit that you have to kind of get around. Getting a tourist visa is one thing, guys, but actually establishing legal residency or opening a bank account or something like getting proper health insurance, even starting a business involves like multiple layers of paperwork and bureaucratic frustration. It might make the IRS look easy to deal with for a lot of Americans. It is quite a shock. Now, you'll spend months trying to figure out these systems, then the locals will navigate this stuff kind of easy. So something that will annoy you, for example, is like getting internet installed will be a pain in the ass, or registering a motorbike becomes like a day-long thing that you have to do. Bureaucratic mess. Even getting a phone number in a country, sometimes you're not even allowed. Like you need a national ID to get a phone number in a country. I know Romania was like that. That freedom that you were seeking could rapidly get replaced by constantly worrying about shit like visa renewals and compliance requirements like your monthly check-ins and shit like that. What's going on, boys? Fent Tacos.
At Death Ice Enough donated $2. Fent Taco.
Hey, thanks, bro. Let me get situated here. What's going on, Adam? How are you doing today? All right. I sent you down a rabbit hole with the Midwest safety video. That channel's insane. That's a nutty channel.
At Infinity Herald donated $10. Manufacturing, trades in high schools, enforce antitrust laws, break up monopolies totally, end the Federal Reserve and go back to gold-backed currency, repeal the 19th Amendment. Not hard to do.
Hey, that sounds like some putting the people first. That's some anti-establishment talk right there. You better be careful with that kind of language, sir. The swamp doesn't like hearing this kind of language. Yeah. It would be so easy, right, if our reps actually represented us. But, you know, money talks in America. That's the truth. Unfortunately. We got an easy one today, boys. We're just testing. Am I drinking coffee or tea? Coffee. Coffee at 7 o'clock at night. Fucking up. Got another unit at auction, eh? You're stacking them up. Stacking them. 7 p.m. coffee is wild. Is it? I don't know. I'm a slow responder. I don't know how else to describe it. Or I should say I'm a fast metabolizer. That's more like it. I could drink coffee right before bed. You know how confused I was when the title was taco? Yeah. A little insider knowledge on that one. All right. We'll get started with some easy peasy. Cold brew coffee and Bacardi, eh? Bacardi. So Gen Z loneliness. Let's see what's going on with the homies.
If you're a member of Generation Z, which for context is anyone born between 1997 and 2012, there's a high chance you've experienced or are currently experiencing some degree of loneliness. Studies show that a significant 73% of Gen Z report feeling lonely at some point in their lives, and upwards of 20% report having no significant friends. And these issues go beyond just platonic friendships. Statistics show that anywhere from a third or more of men 18 to 25 report having no sexual or romantic relationships within the past year. These numbers are scary, and they're far from what anyone could consider normal for a society. Now, if you're Gen Z and you've been experiencing these issues, you've probably been told either by your parents or by older peers that you just need to put down that damn phone and go socialize. I've personally gotten this talk from my own parents, and while I understand they're trying to help, they just don't get how things are for younger people today. For example, there are periods of time where I will spend all day, every day, sitting in...
Thanks, Des, for the 100. Oh, it worked, I think. Let's see.
Nice.
Oh, my Lord, it worked. Boys, we fixed it. Perfect. It all works now. The hardest part of the app is done. I need to figure out if Twitch works. If you're the single person on Twitch, there's 3 of you watching. If one of you can donate, I'll love you forever. I need to test that. Millennials just making it work. Yes. Yes, it works. Even at bits, just only do a bit. If you do whatever the cheapest bit, let me make sure I have my settings correct. Whatever the lowest bits, I have it set to 50 bits. 50 bits. Okay, that's it. That's like 50 cents. If you could test that. If that pops up in my alerts, boys, we're releasing the app. We're releasing the app. Well, we still got a lot of work. No, I think it's bits. Twitch uses bits. If you could just drop bits. I don't know how Twitch works, but I just have to test this. And I have to test Rumble too later. I'm just going to have to I'm going to donate to myself or something.
in my room, on my phone, or my computer. My parents will come in and tell me how depressing it is that I'm just wasting time online. And I always agree with them on that point. But there really isn't much else.
They don't understand. Dude, I was reading the comments and the boomers are so disconnected. The comments of the boomers on the taco video with Trump are saying that we were sissies, that we don't understand what it means to be America first, that we don't understand what it means to struggle, and we can't stomach hard times. Like, these people are so disconnected. And I made a post saying, like, hey, millennials were born in the worst time imaginable, practically. Like, here's what the post said, just so we could get into that.
At Burbshed donated 10 Australian dollars. People don't have basic social skills anymore, and we're offloading responsibility to the classic scapegoat of the economy. TikTok brain equals population collapse even if cost of living pressures ease.
Yep. We're losing our expertise. It's true. So this post was saying the life of a millennial, graduated in the Great Recession, entry-level job required 3 years of experience. Pensions replaced by the 401k, promoted at work, meant a 2% raise and 200% more responsibility. Felt stability in life, then a pandemic. Highest inflation in 50 years, deleted pay raises. Home prices doubled overnight, forcing permanent renters. Childcare costs 1 month of rent. Juggling aging parents, young kids, burnout from work, and the cost to live. And now AI causing mass layoffs during peak earning years. Yes. Oh, here's a test dono. Thank you, brother. I think it worked.
Nice.
Wow, it worked. Stupendous. It didn't read your test dono, though. Thank you so much. Let me export this. Okay. And let me write this down. So Rumble TTS didn't fire. Rumble donation didn't fire TTS. Oh, maybe because it was one. Never mind. Excuse me. I think I know what happened there. Let me double check. Can I manually make this?
Hans Diamond Ball
Yep.
donated $1. Here is a test dono.
That was me. Never mind. Excellent. And if I hit this one too, let's see. Okay. We got it working. Let's fucking go, boys. Thank you. Apparently you can't donate bits because I'm not partnered on Twitch, so fine. Can't test that. I'll have to figure that out later. What can you donate on Twitch with? I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, so... And then the boomers are obviously in the comment section that we don't know what hard times are. We don't know what real struggle is like. Yada, yada. They drag their dicks through 10 miles of glass to get to work, and we're happy with a quarter. But yeah, that life is completely different. The reason these kids are stuck in their homes and can't do anything is because, goddamn, average car is like $30,000, $40,000 now. Gas is $5 and some change, depending on where you live, if not more, maybe slightly less. Anything to even eat slop, you're getting into the point where you can't even eat slop anymore. It's going to cost people, I don't know what it costs to get a shitty meal at McDonald's, but I saw the prices were up to like $12, $15. I went to Chipotle not too long ago and I got back in America and I was surprised, dude, that a burrito was like $13. $13 for a burrito. $13, eh? And I didn't even ask for anything extra, and they're being stingy with those scoops. $13? That's crazy. Yeah. So I have to pay damn near 15, maybe even $20 just to eat slop. Slop. You know, those used to be like $8, right? Premium slop now. $16 near you? I might have been incorrect. I think it was like 15 plus tax. So it probably was like 16. I just remember being shocked. So I think I grabbed $6.99, right? Was that what it was? I can't remember what the price was like 10 years ago, but it sure as fuck wasn't no $16, dude. You remember you could go to McDonald's? This was in my slop days before I knew any better. But you could go get a spicy chicken for $1. Remember? They had $1 menu that existed. What? What happened?
money printer goes burr.
else to do.
And then they go, but why don't you kids get out of your goddamn house? Why don't you get out of your goddamn house and make something of yourselves? Go to the goddamn mall like I used to. Hey, Pops, the mall is shut down. It doesn't even exist. Americans don't even do mall shopping anymore. Back in my day, I was slanging dick left and right. I had so many women. Goddamn, boy, you know how many girlfriends I had? I took them all in my 65 Corvette, you know, that I was working fucking shining shoes and shit in the store. I took my brand new Corvette and your mama out to that drive-through theater and we watched all the movies. I was getting head day in and day out. You don't even leave your goddamn room. You just fill your socks up, you pathetic bastard. Like, the world they grew up in, they have no idea what the fuck it's like to try to survive today. If you just reverse the boomer to age 16 and go, good luck, bro. Let's see you make it with the knowledge you have. They can't open a fucking email.
Their response is usually just, oh, go out and meet people. But what is out? Where is out? The problem
like
is
my dad.
there's nowhere out for young people to go.
I hope that's not what your dad sounds like, bro. I hope not.
At Big Contrive, I donated $20.
Oh,
Your inflation mug got me a talking to by HR.
No
A week
way.
later, your boy is still working with a promotion, and the HR lady got fired for selling herself in the parking lot for $100 a head. Thanks, Bo. Keep it up.
Let's fucking go.
Perfect.
Can't keep a player down. Good shit. You see that? Stand your fucking ground. HR out there selling their ass and shit. Our boy is undefeated. He's not getting stopped. Thanks, brother.
Yago King donated $2.
Wow.
Isn't Arizona Mill still around?
I don't think anybody goes there. I'm not sure. Arizona does like those open air mall concepts now. There's no real mall anymore. I don't know. I know they died out in Georgia. I used to go to the one in Gwinnett when I was in college, or high school. Yes, boys, I forgot. Let me plug the shirts like a good goy. Appreciate dude, you guys really love this one the most. The Unit Party, this very simple design here is the one that's doing the most. I would have thought it was the other one, but people like this. It's very clean. And I guess that's why, because it's just clean, simple design. You could wear this anywhere. You could drink out of this mug anywhere. And it's simple, it just says vote harder. So we got that in mugs and shirts. And then, of course, we got the other one that is also in mug and shirt. Maybe this is too detailed for some people, but it says just vote harder. So appreciate everybody that's been getting these. They've actually been a hit. And we do have some future. Let me see if I could bring it up. We took out the old school Top Goys. Oh, it won't let me bring it up here. The old school Top Goys are gone. Let me see if I could do this. And we're bringing in a new design. So I'm going to update these. They will be seasonal. Maybe even just monthly. Like I won't keep them on for long. We might bring them back once in a while, but I want to try to filter through some nice designs for you guys and make sure if you're here and you got them, great. If you didn't, Chip. Let's see. Is this it? Yes, it is. So, what is all this shit in the way? There you go. I still have to fix the links here. But this is going to be the new one that we're working on. Still got a clean design. Working with shortly. All right. Back to Sad Panda here.
At Infinity Elk donated $5. State Street, Vanguard, and BlackRock control and manage more asserts money than the yearly GDP. We wonder why we're fucked.
Yeah. Hey, they own everything, eh? Absolutely everything.
Say I go to...
Was I muted there? Oh, I was muted. Sorry. That was the new Topgoy design. Yeah.
to a bar. Unless you live in a major city, chances are the bar will be mostly older people in their 30s and up. Very rarely do I go to a bar in a town outside a city and see young people my age. If you are a young person in a small town, your chances of meeting other young people out and about are frankly just slim. Fortunately, I do live in an urban area, so it's not too hard for me specifically to meet younger folks when I go out to, let's say, a bar or a nightclub. But even then, these types of environments aren't great for meeting people. Most of the time, there's loud music blasting, and on top of that, everyone is at least a little intoxicated. Not exactly the best way to meet new people, especially if you're not super extroverted. And meeting girls at a bar or a club, that's even harder. If you're not extremely charismatic or like super handsome,
I am not GLP. Well, technically, yeah. I have retatrutide, dude. I am on peptides right now. So if you notice that I got lean, it's because I am. We were talking about them in the private community. When I came back stateside, I got on Retta. I fixed my fucked up shoulder. I got on that Wolverine stack, the TB 500, the BPC 157. What is it? What else is in there? GHKCU copper peptide, for your hair, skin, nails. It just comes in there. It's a blend. And there's another one, KV, something KV. And I was researching them, and there's also some ones for like neuroplasticity and neuroregeneration and all that stuff. Thank you. Yeah, the Wolverine stack is absolutely amazing. I've had a messed up shoulder from a shoulder pressing injury way younger. I did shoulder press 100. I ended up failing on one of the reps, and accidentally, as I am fully extended up, my arm gave out a little bit and the weight went behind me, like behind my head. Obviously, I tore some stuff there, and I've had a screwed up rotator cuff and some ligaments. But since I started taking these peptides, I'm just sharing these anecdotal story. This worked for me. Since I started these peptides, I no longer have any pain whatsoever in that shoulder, despite doing those same exercises that would have absolutely left me fucked up. I mean, there were some exercises that I would do that I couldn't move my arm the next day. So I was looking at potentially surgery, of course, later on. And that's it. So this Clo blend is $150 a month. Because it's blended with a bunch of it's like 4 different blends in there. You can get it for cheaper, but $150 a month for all of this. And yeah, my healing factor, definitely. It's on it. They call the Wolverine stack for a reason. I feel amazing on that shit. I can work out. I'm recovered. No more pains in lower back, shoulders, knee, none of that shit. Amazing. And then I have some stuff, like I said, on the mental side that the Russians invented years ago called C-Max and Selank. There's another blend that I'm going to be trying soon that has 2 more peptides added in there. They call it the Einstein stack. And it just makes you sharp. It protects your brain, keeps your neurons firing. It's everything optimal. BDNF factor increase, all that stuff to keep your brain locked in. Words come quicker. Thoughts are linked better, sharper on stream, all that kind of stuff. So that's really the 2 that I'll be doing. Retta, I do the base 2 milligrams a week. I try to titrate up to like 4. It's too much. I never had a problem eating. But I just used it to help do like an aggressive cut without feeling so fucking miserable and hungry. And it works. So if you're in the private community, obviously I can't talk sources for obvious reasons. If you're in the private community, we talk about stuff. Yeah. I don't want to get in trouble, but I'll be doing a video on my progress with that stuff and my experiences directly.
it's going to be really hard. Honestly, this is one of the main reasons I think things like black pill and looks maxing have gotten popular, because a lot of guys just aren't able to attract women in these kinds of environments. The problem is there really aren't other places for us to meet friends or romantic partners. There just aren't social spaces for younger generations outside of bars and clubs. Society really lacks places where the average young people can just go and hang out without loud music or drugs involved. One thing I think Gen Z really misses compared to older generations is third places.
Not on the sauce, thinking about it though. I've been researching TRT. I'm 36. I'm honestly thinking about it. I'm not. Like I said, if I do, I'm going to drop a video after a few, well, not a few months, but after a while being on that stuff. And yeah, if I'm leaning more towards yes than no. So I want my body back from the 20s. I'm not going to lie to you. I want to just be able to go and crush it in the gym and not worry about recovery. Dude, getting old sucks. Getting old sucks, dude. I'm 30 something or I'm 36. Okay, for me, yeah. The only thing I have to watch out for is some of those sides, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Peptides for sure.
A third place is basically an informal social space outside of the home, which would be the first place, and work or school, which would be the second place. Many third places that were normal for young people in the 2000s and earlier have disappeared.
Yeah, getting old sucks, dude. I remember being able to just drink up a storm in college, get absolutely plastered, blackout. Next day, I woke up feeling like $1 million, dude. Shitty sleep. And then I was ready to rock. It was like being on mushrooms 24/7. I would wake up and oh my God, everything is so colorful, so beautiful. My liver hates my guts. It's fine though. And I could go to the gym, work out, be recovered. Energy for days. Didn't even need coffee. It was just I was a different animal. Now we're at 36. Now you start to do that like, oh shit, my lower back. You start to grab that. You do that little old man grab. You're like, ooh, fuck, did I twist something? I got to warm up now at the gym and shit. I keep talking about all this goddamn mobility work. I need to start already. I have plenty of space at my house. Des, you're at the gym right now? Yeah, I got plenty of space at that. Like I used to be able to just walk in the gym, zero warm up, nothing, or just smash heavy weights and we're good. Now we got to do a good warm up, get that blood flow going. You know, got the fucking machinery just creaking and shit, low oil. And if I look another way too quickly, I gotta fucking, there's a little crick in there. Yeah, some shit, it changes, man. No, but seriously, it is a mentality too. Look, as long as you're eating clean and working, I've been pretty active my whole life. So the injuries I've accumulated was actually because how physical I was with my body. And that's the only thing I have. My nagging issues are from going too hard physically, and I paid the price for some of that stuff. I really don't have a problem with much else. I'm happy with my body, and I got a pretty good bead on what I need, diet-wise, training-wise, to be good. And it could be way worse. It could be way worse. I take my shirt off, I look good. My woman can't keep her hands off me. People stare. I feel great.
Unseen TV donated $10. Suburbs miles away from community-focused spaces. In the movie, Back to the Future, the mall they used, Puente Hills Mall, is in City of Industry, California. Locals are fighting city officials against turning a dead mall into a battery data center spot.
Of course they are. Damn. Wow, thanks for the 10, brother. Suburbs are awfully quiet.
A damp 911 donated $5. I'm 42. I've been on TRT for a year. I notice more aggression, but I also notice I push more in the gym. I'm also taking 10 grams of creatine a day. My mind is clear. I did 2 jobs, cleared out the unit and went to the gym. Now I'm tired, lol. Much worse before.
Nice. Yeah, I'm doing 15 to 20 grams of creatine a day too. I saw all those studies about how it's good for you mentally, for your depression, anxiety, and all that stuff. Yeah. Gratitude is key, by the way. Hey, health is wealth, guys. I value my health now at my age way more. Before I was very vain, so I was trying to get as big, as shredded, as jacked as possible, lugging around weights because the ego. Now I protect. At 36, I already put in a lot of the work. I'm just trying to maintain it now and be as healthy as possible late into life. I would like to go into my 50s just maintaining as shredded as I am. I don't need to be a big guy. I'm not going to force feed myself fucking chicken and rice anymore. And we'll see if I do get on to the dark side. I don't know. Do we cruise or do we blast? You see, that's where I'm stuck. What do we do? Okay. I don't know. What do we do? Motherfucker's gonna, like, in 90 days just transform on stream and shit. And like, who the fuck is this guy? Yeah. Blast for life.
Or become way less accessible in the last 10 to 20 years. A big example would be shopping malls. Even
A damp 911 donated $5. I'm still dealing with a belly and love handles. No matter how hard I push or calorie deficit, the belly doesn't seem to move. Back up to 256 from 218 lowest. I'm not sure why.
Retta, bro. Stop even thinking about it. All right, I can't tell you. My experience, Retta. I couldn't imagine. Yeah, that would be a sick fucking recomp. Can you imagine get the muscles from Test and shredded from Retta? Incredible.
Decade or two ago, malls were places where people, especially young people, would go, not necessarily to even just shop, but just to hang out and socialize. I'm on the older side of Gen Z, so I can vaguely remember a time when malls were the places teenagers went to just to be around each other. Now, visit your local mall, and it's gonna be mostly empty, even on a weekend. Most stores are closed or shuttered. Outside major cities, this is basically the state of malls across the country. They are all practically abandoned at this point. Other examples would include things like bowling alleys, skating rinks, music venues, and even local parks. I've heard stories of older people meeting their spouses at skating rinks or at some other random place.
Thanks, Crayon.
Today, that seems almost impossible. I can't even remember.
What is Retta? Retta is like the third generation. The first one is what you've heard about, Wigovia and all that stuff that everybody was on, but is the first generation. What's the official name for it? I even forgot. What is it called? What's its other name? It's the weight loss shit that all Hollywood was on. I forgot. Anyways, that's generation 1. And it has some problems. It's not the healthiest. Ozempic. There you go. Thank you. It's Ozempic. So Ozempic was first generation. Then second generation is, I don't know exactly, tirzepatide. I don't know what it is. Something like that. And that's a GLP-2. And then a GLP-3, which adds some other shit in there that actually makes it a bit better long term, and is called retatrutide. And they're testing that one right now, whatever. But there's also some really cool preliminary stuff with retatrutide when it comes to killing cancer, because, you know, cancers need sugar. They survive off glucose, and some very interesting findings with reducing tumors in the body and shit. So I think it'll become something that people will use not just for weight loss, although it's very good for weight loss, but cancer treatment and other stuff when it comes to, like, I think blood sugar and diabetes and some shit like that they're finding out. It's actually amazing. I mean, it's made dieting practically like breathing air. If I were to give you guys a feeling when I used to diet before without this stuff, it's fucking hell. Diets suck, especially when you get low enough body fat. And there's a certain point where you just don't have energy. You're always tired, lethargy, and you're going to have to rely on like caffeine basically to power you through the day. It sucks. So you always did that near the end when you're getting the last bit of fat off of you. But with this stuff, dude, I sometimes forget to eat. It's nice.
Remember the last time I even went to a skating rink. And sure, parks exist, but when's the last time you went to one and it was full of teens and young adults? Anytime I go to a park, it's mostly parents with their kids or older people on power walks. And even assuming you go to a skating rink, our generation is so antisocial that if you try to even, talk to someone in your age group that isn't your friend.
I've taken ivermectin. I did the fenbendazole / ivermectin protocol when we came back from Thailand. I figured after getting food poisoning and shitting fire out of my ass that I probably caught some shit. And just to be safe, I did a cycle of ivermectin and fenbendazole just to kill whatever was in there. So yeah, I dewormed myself just to be on the safe side. Then took some stool sample test, of course, just to make sure, hey, we don't got any weird shit in my stomach. Came out perfectly clear. So we're good. It worked. If there was something in there. Oh, dude, it was horrendous. Yeah, the real purge. And my wife got it way worse. I had to actually go get her medicine, like antibiotics and shit. Like, that was bad. It's bad, dude. She got by the shrimp.
And you come off as weird. Just in general, there are way fewer young people anywhere. You could argue that part of this is because we are addicted to social media and most people would rather stay inside on
Be
their
careful
devices.
going overseas.
That's definitely true. Social media has really hurt our generation's social skills. There's another reason, though, that nobody really talks about. There are just fewer young people now than there were in the past, and you can back this up with statistics. Right after World War II, millions of soldiers came back home, and the first thing a lot of them did was get busy, really busy. This led to an unprecedented population boom in the West, called the baby boom. By the early 1970s, roughly 50% of the population was under the age of 25. That's a huge...
Also, another thing boomers do, it is racial too. You know, boomers will say, like, in my day, we had standards. In my day, people had some common goddamn sense. In my day, I could leave the keys in my car and my door open and didn't have to lock shit. And it's like, yeah, because America was 95% white, 96% white. And then when you tell that to a boomer, their mind like short circuits. You mean I live in a neighborhood with like Mexicans, blacks, illegals, Asians, it's a diverse neighborhood and nobody relates to one another. And so we don't do the neighborhood barbecues. Nobody waves at each other. Oh, hello, Ted. Hi, Martha. How you doing today? Hey, Bob, we're going to work today. See you at IBM. Yeah, that shit's over with. Like, I'm hearing fucking salsa and shit in my backyard. There's a quinceañera going on Saturday night. There's like fucking 100 people over there screaming and shit. And, the other part of the neighborhood's getting shit done, having like, parties in the house and all this. Nobody's talking to one another, though. Nobody's saying hi. Everybody like goes, gets their mail, runs back in the house. Nobody wants to speak. All foreign languages are being heard. Walk around my neighborhood, I'm hearing fucking Indian, I'm hearing Hispanic or Spanish, I'm hearing whatever the fuck language. You think I want to say hello to these people and get to know them and what, go eat some fucking tikka masala? Give me a break. Give me a break. This shit's a joke. They had a study, they already found out when you have diversity, it turns into a low trust society with zero civic sense. Nobody wants to maintain their neighborhoods. Nobody wants to volunteer. Nobody wants to, even care about politics. It lowers the voting rate. I mean, I'm being, a bit hyperbolic, of course, but my parents' neighborhood, that's where it happened. My parents' neighborhood, when I grew up in it, is a perfect example of this actually happening, not just being hyperbolic, but my parents' neighborhood, it was predominantly white. We had like a black family or two, but it was middle class. And that was it. And Constantly everybody is outside, constantly everybody's playing, and everybody's getting along. The black family ended up moving out. And then slowly through the years, the next 20 or so years, that turned into like a Spanish ghetto, basically. The next door house had like 20 cars parked there. They converted the garage into another family living there, a room. You know, the other houses across the street off to the left somewhere had cops raid them, and it was like a drug house or something. It turned into a complete shithole. That entire neighborhood went to shit. And my parents bought that house, I think it was $120,000, and they ended up selling it for 360, I think it was. Anyways, the guy who bought the house got fucked big time. He paid $360 in Georgia to live in an absolute fucking dump. It used to be a beautiful, quiet suburban neighborhood. It turned into shit because of diversity. And the boomers look at society today and they can't make the link that, no shit, you invite the third world, you open the borders, you become the third world. Like the reason you have to lock your doors, the reason you can't leave shit open anymore is precisely the fact that you are not the super majority anymore. And the standards your people carried no longer exist. You have people that come from the third world where there are no standards. Those are the standards they bring with them. What they accepted in their third world country, they bring that behavior over. That's what you don't understand. It's hard for Americans to fathom until you really go traveling and you try to do business with third worlders. You try to, befriend and talk to them, and then you see how conniving they are. Give me that mentality. Constantly begging for shit, constantly scheming, never trusting. Always trying to haggle on shit all the time. If you're a business owner and you've dealt with non-Europeans, let's just be completely honest. I own a remodeling and stucco company. I liked my white clients. They're really easy to deal with. I'm not haggling over price. We agree on something. The contract's done, solid. Don't have to worry about it. I didn't like, the worst was dealing with Indians constantly, bro. After signing the contract, always was an issue. Constantly trying to say, but can you make me a deal? Let's barter. Or let's do some of that. We're not in fucking India, bro. This is the contract. This is the price. You're paying it. Stop trying to duck. I don't have the money now. Okay, could come back this Friday. Constantly giving excuse. They're headaches. I stopped doing business. I just charged them like triple what I started doing, and then we would negotiate down to the real price, and then they felt like they had a deal and they got a lot of value. And they were happy and I was happy. Like, you start to learn how to deal with certain groups of people because they have a certain way of dealing with things because of the places they come from, the cultures that they imbue and that they bring with them. If you're a business owner and you deal with clients like this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Every single group of people has a different, distinct set of behaviors when it comes to doing business. So you learn quickly. Yeah. I have crazy stories with some of the Indian clients, and they're the well-off ones too. I'm not even talking about no ghetto shit. I mean, literally, like, guy is high end or maybe mid-level, right below executive. He's living in a multi-million-dollar house. Dude's still trying to haggle me for like $100-200. Hey, bro, leave that shit behind in your home country. You literally make like $500,000 a year, if not more. Relax, big dog. We don't have to fight over $100.
Number of young people, and you can imagine what society looked like then. You could live in a small town and see lots of people your age just by going outside. Combine that with more of an abundance of third places, and it was just much easier for people in that generation to socialize and find partners. Compare that to today. As of 2025, only 31% of the population is under the age of 25. Of that, only 21% are Gen Z, 10% from the younger half, and 11% from the older half. For comparison, during the baby boomers' youth, they made up about 37% of the US population. Today, young people are basically a minority, which isn't normal historically, or even something normal in many societies today. So why is this happening? Well, each generation since the greatest generation, as they're called, who are the people who fought in World War II, has had fewer kids. Families from the greatest generation, who birthed most baby boomers, averaged about 3 to 4 kids. That peaked with the baby boom, then dropped. By the late 60s into the 80s, the average number of kids per household fell to 1 to 2, which is Gen X's fertility rate, the parents of most Gen Zers. So our generation is smaller, and honestly, that explains a lot of my own experiences. My parents had me in their 30s, and I was an only child for 3 years until my brother was born. A lot of kids my age grew up with no siblings as only children, which I think has very negative effects on your psychological health as well as your social development. And even with a sibling, I still felt lonely, partly because my family wasn't as large as older generations. Baby boomers
TB donated $5. Gen Z today or be born in 500 AD?
500 AD. 500 AD. Fire. I work less, get taxed less. I just have to defend my family physically. Fine, bro. That's great. I get to go to war, potentially have a gloriful life, die a warrior potentially, or maybe just fade off in the battlefield. I get an arrow to the knee and I'm gone. Whatever. More dignified living than whatever the fuck you call today.
had more siblings, more cousins, bigger extended families, things we don't see much today in the US. Even the family you do have, people barely stay in contact. My cousins are in their 30s and they live far away. So growing up, it really was just me, my brother, and my parents. And I think humans naturally thrive in bigger family groups with lots.
Yeah, can you imagine you with the boys? 500 AD with the boys. You're hunting and shit, doing some farming and shit, maybe under some empire. You're just raiding villages. Soldiers of fortune, just dropping seeds everywhere as you go. What a life. Shit ain't perfect. But at least you'd be surrounded by your own people, right? Christ, dude. You wouldn't feel like a foreigner in your own country. You wouldn't feel like you don't belong. You'd actually have somebody you can talk to. You're not forced to be in a little cubicle you call your room. That's crazy. We could ride out. We could ride out for the king, for the bannermen. Or we could ride out for the local nobility, whoever. You'd feel more alive, that's for damn sure. And then you come home to your nice busty wife who's a virgin. Maybe you got more than one wife in more than one location because, you know, you're a soldier of war, a soldier of fortune. So, like, you got your wife out there in wherever land you just took over and you got your wife back home, you know. So, hey, and then you move up and you command your own little legion, your own little ranks of men. And wouldn't that be sweet? Assuming you survive, right? You don't take an arrow to the knee and it's all over. And then you fade out in the halls of history. That's all right, though. I guess it depends what timeline, right? Do you want to go to war before or after gunpowder? Is that before or after gunpowder? Okay. Do we want to go with Bronze Age or stone tip spears? I mean, what are we talking? How far back do you want to go? Do you want legion formations or do you want the Spartans? Where at? Okay. Are you trying to see elephants from Carthage rampaging through the Swiss Alps or, you know, facing down the Persians at the gates? What are we doing? I mean, pick. Someone says stone tips. Well, you'd have a loincloth and no armor, so better be the best with the poke stick.
Of peers around the same age as you. That's how we develop socially. We're meant to have large families where there are lots of people who are the same age, lots of cousins, lots of siblings, so that you actually interact with people that you know, that you trust, and it helps you develop. And that's still common in a lot of traditional or less developed countries where young people still make up the majority of the population. So I think Gen Z's loneliness comes from three main factors: lack of social skills from early social media exposure, lack of community and third places, and simply just being in fewer numbers compared to older generations. Put all that together, and it's no mystery why our generation has the highest rates of depression and loneliness ever recorded in human history. Now, I don't really know what the solution is. Our society is aging fast, and this trend...
You know, it'd be tight, dude. Imagine being on one of the boats and just landing in Latin America. Just one of the first to land in America. Holy shit. They just look at you like a god. You're pretty much invincible. You and your small crew of homies take over an empire. Isn't that wild? You're just decked out in like armor they've never seen before. You're shining like gold. All your armor plating, they're like bowing down to you. And you're like, wow, who the fuck are these people with loincloths everywhere? Look at all these motherfuckers. Look at these pyramids they're building. Give me that shit. Give me that. You're Catholic now. Give me that. Convert or die. Give me that shit. Back when Christians had a fucking spine and a pair of balls, yeah?
Isn't reversing anytime soon. It's likely that things will only get worse. It's very possible that society will continue down the digital rabbit hole. VR and AI companionship are already becoming substitutes for real-life social interaction for a lot of people. As these technologies continue to advance, we are going to see more people choose these as surrogates for real-life relationships. Realistically, I think we might see a split. Some people will fully immerse themselves in the digital world, while others will reject non-essential technology and move towards simpler lives closer.
I think that's a big split that's going to happen for sure. Yeah. This luxury farming, homesteading lifestyle everybody's dreaming of, it's people backing away from modern life and how exhausting that shit is mentally, physically, spiritually, especially. Returning to the land is very nice, man. To plant something, to pick a fruit, to just be back to nature, to just feel the sun on your skin, to just sit in your little rocking chair and watch the wind blow through the leaves, the sun shining through the trees, just hearing the sounds of nature, what your body's built for, what it craves. Not to be stuck under these fucking stupid ass lights, away from the five senses and what they need to experience out there. It's peaceful, it's beautiful, it calms you. It's where a lot of anxiety comes from, people. We live in synthetic environments.
A damp 911 donated $5. Haha, boy, I just saw your post. Fat Israel cocktail blocking Iran from getting to the US ceasefire.
Yeah. Hey, I like your cute friend. Want a ceasefire? She's not interested. And basically what it is. A girl ruined his entire life. What do you think happened? You got a lot of views.
Hey everybody, today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be talking about something that I've wanted to talk to you all about for a while now. And it's probably the most detrimental thing that's happened to me in my life. So let's just get right into it. To start off, I was in grade 9 when this happened. And
no.
Basically, I was very new to the dating scene. I had never had a girlfriend in advance to being in grade 9. I had never been with any girl in general. Like, I've had crushes, obviously. Like, I had crushes before that, but I had never had a successful relationship before that. So
that's not good. Somebody saw it. This is a rough one. Here we go, dude.
No girlfriends. And my first girlfriend, who I would find in grade 9,
no.
We're not going to say her name, obviously, but we'll just call her the girl for now, okay? And this girl, at the time, I thought she was really pretty. I don't know. I just thought there was something about her that I really liked. So I went for her, obviously. I asked for her number in a really stupid way. I
Give me
pretended
that.
to fall and like drop my phone, and then when she picked it up for me, I was like, "Can you slide your number?" And like, it was really stupid the way I asked for her number. But yeah, I'm
Give
getting
me
a bit
that
off
shit.
topic here. After she did that, after she gave me her number, we texted for a while. Pretty much said "I love you" on like the third day of talking. It was really stupid.
Oh,
But I didn't know the consequences of saying something like that yet. You know, like there's not a like a crazy amount of consequences. Obviously, sometimes it's a good thing, but
oh,
saying that early on in a relationship is never good. And I'd come to learn that soon. So fast forward a month or so, we were together initially. After a week of talking, we made it official, and then throughout that month, it was a really good relationship. Like, this was the first girl I ever kissed and made out with. That was the most we ever did, though, and that's a big point that I want you to know. That was the most we ever
oh no, he got falsely accused. Oh, dude, life ruined at grade 9. Wow.
even did with each other. And it'll make sense in a second why I'm telling you that. So after that month, though, we lasted, I believe, 2 months total. So another month went by, and I was starting to lose a bit of feelings for her because, once again, it was my first girlfriend. I was in grade 9. I was new to this. I started to see her truer colors, and I started not to want her anymore, you know?
Oh
And
no.
it was hard to explain something like this at such a young age to a girl. So instead of explaining it to her outrightly, I decided to break up with her during Christmas break. And
Okay.
I would come to learn that was probably one of the biggest mistakes I've ever made in my life. And it's for a very simple reason. So what ended up happening after I broke up with her is everything seemed normal at first. I didn't get any texts, surprisingly. I didn't get any calls. And what did happen, though, is I went to school after Christmas break. And basically, every single person that I had known, or pretty much every single person that I was aware of, like at the school, was giving me dirty looks, was looking at me weird, or like just straight up commenting about me or saying stuff in front of me that I didn't like, you know? And what I didn't understand about that is I didn't know what had happened, you know? I was very concerned. I asked my friends and they just completely ignored me. And I realized that not only had I lost a lot of respect from the public of my school, but I had lost respect from teachers and friends, and I had no idea why yet.
What?
So, obviously, I went to the girl that I had just broken up with. I almost
Teachers?
said her name. That's why I cut the video there. But I went to the girl that I had broken up with, and she said she had nothing to do with what had happened. And I asked what had happened, and she refused to elaborate. And then I started getting texts from people asking me very interesting things. And I was sent pictures of DMs with her that were just between us two. And they were very explicit DMs about like wanting to make out with each other, wanting to do things with each other, stuff you
Okay.
wouldn't like spread usually, stuff you wouldn't screenshot and spread to the public. But that was the least of my concerns at the time. Not only did people think I was weird because of the DMs that were shown to other people that were just meant to be between
Come on, man. They're giving him a hard time because he tried to get his beak wet. He said, baby, let me get in them sugar walls. Listen, that sweet nectar. Give me that. Give me that. Stop hiding that sweet honey. Your man is dying of thirst. I need some. Give me that. Why are you being stingy? Oh, fuck. How does this get worse?
me and her. But it was because she had told them something that I had done, which obviously I hadn't, but I'm going to get to that in a sec.
Imagine getting red pilled at ninth
Fast
grade.
forward around 3 months, I believe.
Sheesh.
I finished grade 9, I believe, like maybe 4 or 5 months actually. Yeah, around 4 or 5 months. I had finished grade 9. And in grade 10, this is when I found out what had actually been going on. So I started off grade 10, obviously pretty, messed in the head because I had lost all my friends, all my people around me just didn't like me, and I still had no idea why, because I knew
How?
that whatever it was, was not just the DMs. I knew with my heart that that's not the only thing that had happened. And then a single person, just one person, changed exactly what had happened to me. This person came up to me and straight up asked me, "Didn't you grape a girl last year?"
Oh.
I'm not going to name the person who asked me that, but they came up to me and asked me that. And so in that person doing that, I obviously responded with no. I had no idea what he was talking about, but I just couldn't believe what he had just said, I couldn't believe someone that I had known so long ago. And this wasn't just a random person, by the way. This was a friend I had around grade 5, and then we kind of split apart after that. And then I met him in school before that, before all this happened, before he heard about the rumor. And then he came up to me and he said that. And I was just oblivious to what was going on, And so it turned out, after he explained himself, it turned out that not only did he believe that I had graped someone the year before, but a lot of people, pretty much everybody that had known this girl or had known of this girl, knew about it and thought that I had done that. And it's insane to me the power that a girl has to just be able to say something like that, and it can just get blown out of proportions. Because from what I'm aware of, initially, it was just the DMs. And then it turned into someone, I don't want to just blame her for this, but someone turned it into sexual assault. And then someone straight up turned it into grape. I don't know who these people were who had made this rumor about me, but there was no way of stopping it now, as it had been a year since the initial thing had started spreading. And not only did I lose all my friends from this, but I started to lose myself, I started to lose my sanity. And fast forward to grade 11 now, after 2 years of being unsuccessful with finding a girl to get with,
That's so
or
nuts.
finding any friends.
Bro, you broke up with your girl. He assaulted me. Reputation ruined. Life cooked for the next 4 years in high school. You're done for. Nothing happens to the girl. Does this even end? Is there a happy ending where she pays the price? No, of course not. They get away with it. It's her word versus his. These kids are crazy. Yeah, the world is so disgusting today that people really do some heinous shit to each other, and it's been normalized. Wow.
Friends in general. I finally found a girl, but it doesn't matter. It had been 2 years by this point, and the only reason I was able to get with this girl is because initially she was one of the people who didn't believe in it and thought there wasn't enough proof or evidence of it. She was one of the only people I met who was aware that without proof, evidence, or anything like that, you can't just say something like that about somebody. And for her, I want to thank her for that, because, she was probably the only person who...
Remember, we've covered these stories before. It'd be in college. Except in college, obviously you hook up with the chick. It's always some athlete or some shit. There was that one chick, I don't know what happened. She got tag teamed by the whole lacrosse squad. And obviously she regretted it the next day and then made a big stink about it. And then half the lacrosse team got suspended, expelled from college. Something like that. Was that Duke? And then other stories of other guys where, mattress girl, remember that? And then other stories of athletes that had their entire futures ruined because there's guys that were potentially headed to, say, the NBA or the NFL. And then some chick makes up a story because the dude either breaks up with her or he's about to be on the up and other women are after him. So if she can't have him, nobody can. So all of a sudden, that guy that she's been banging, hoping to, be living the nice lifestyle of a wife-to-be for a multi-millionaire ball player, well, it's time to ruin that shit. And so many of these dudes get caught up. And there's nothing that protects you. Nothing. Cops are not on your side. The school takes the girl's side, period. The schools have become absolute feminist hellholes. It's automatically you're guilty as a man. Trust her. Even when the evidence is fully in your favor, you have testimony, you have text, you have pictures, you have CCTV cameras catching you. Even then, you'll still get suspended, expelled. You're still fighting to get back reinstated in college. Your life has been derailed, and she gets to stay anonymous and go to school and pretend nothing ever happened. And by the time everything gets settled, you can maybe try to sue her. That's such bullshit. This is the biggest amount of bullshit ever. Yeah, if I had to go to college today, I'm putting cameras. If I'm a young man, I'm putting cameras all over my dorm room. They will catch me having sex. I'm recording everything, and I'm keeping them cameras on. And if I ever needed the evidence, of course, I would present that shit just to save my own ass. Because if you don't have footage, you're done today. You're cooked. Her word versus yours, it's over, bro. There was what was it? The soccer athlete? I can't remember who it was. He brought a girl home to his, not even home, to his hotel. He was recording with the camera. He's smart enough to leave the phone recording, whatever, on the nightstand or somewhere. And the girl comes over. She like pushes him on the bed. You know, he's laying down, and then she gets on top and yada, yada. You know, the video cuts there. But that girl falsely accused him of sexually assaulting her and all that stuff. Ronaldo, is that who it was? And if he didn't have that video, his life would have been ruined. Just that little clip showing that she's the one that initiated sex and all that stuff. You have to be so careful. We have laws in this country that operate on a timeline that doesn't exist anymore, a culture that doesn't exist. This isn't the 1930s, the 1940s. We don't have ladies anymore. A lot of these women are just straight up whores, demonic, spiteful, mean, evil, transactional. And you have a society that has these like handshake, you know, covert understandings that, you know, pretty little lady should believe them first. Women deserve to be heard and all this stuff above what the man's got to say. And the Duluth model proves as much. If you have a domestic issue, you're the one getting thrown out of the house, but you could be cut up. Your face could be fucked up. And if she has one little bruise somewhere on her, they're cuffing you and taking you away. But she's the one that maybe try to have a knife fight with you in the kitchen and stab your ass. Doesn't matter. It's just you by default are the one that gets removed. Women have way too much power in cases like this. Yeah, I'd be recording everything.
Didn't believe in it at the time. But yeah, I'm getting distracted here. Basically, after so long of dealing with this, it led me to...
Said there's some things Islam got right about women. Bro, Islam didn't get shit right. Those veiled girls like butt stuff, okay? They love butt stuff. Innocent flowers, they are not. Not even close. If you know, you know, big dog. That veil doesn't mean shit.
to a very low
women
point
are
in
women.
my life. And quickly, I just want to say to the girl who started all of this, fuck you. Genuinely, I hate the fact that you did this to me. And I really hope that sticks with you if you're watching this. Because she led me to a point where, well, the girl who spread the rumor led me to a point where I attempted suicide. Not just once either, but a few times. And then there was one specific night where I had everything set up. I knew I was going to do it that night. But then my dad came in and saw everything, and
what?
Next thing you know, I got sent to a mental hospital, you know? And all of this was because one girl said something that she shouldn't have. And what I want you to be aware of is not only should you be very careful who you trust in your life, but you need to know that there is almost no way, and I say almost for a reason, but there's almost no way of defending yourself when it comes to something like this.
Bro should have been playing 4D chess and be like, that's a lie. I'm gay. I'm into men. She's lying. That's my best friend. She's trying to lie on my name. I like dudes. Or I would have said I was LGBTQ. She's a fucking liar. I told her my secret. Those DMs were doctored by AI. I like men. You gotta protect your ass, bro. Any way possible. Oh, my Lord. Hey, what is it when you're not into people? Asexual? Yeah, just identify as asexual. It's all a lie. Yeah, she probably is reveling in this video, seeing how much she got fucked up. That's what you get, you piece of shit. You break up with me on Christmas break, I'll make you pay for the rest of your life. Holy crap. It really be like that. Should we get into game theory? You want a long one or another shorty? Actually, let's get a shorty in here. So it says, finally, honesty from a women's perspective. Ultimate dunk on the woman, gay maxing. Sheesh.
I'm going to be so honest with you guys on why women don't apologize and that they don't take accountability.
Oh, look there. Look at that. Look down here. You see that? We got the bird hands. Bird hands immediately.
It's because in their little delusional minds, they believe that your
But she's being honest, so maybe it's bird hands against women. We'll see.
reaction was the problem instead of her behavior that caused it, right? And this is what I try teaching women all the time, but it's not registering, maybe because I'm a female. Like, I don't know, maybe if there's like a man in their life that they actually have to listen to, because I'm not enforcing it on them. If I was their friend, yeah, the fuck I would, but I'm just a girl over the internet. But here's the thing. It's not what a man says to you that's the problem. It's what you said first that was the problem. What women need to understand, men are not going to be a weak, feminine little bitch and be all like, you hurt my feelings. I felt this way when you said this. That's gay as fuck. I'm not going to lie. So, of course, he's going to tell you something like, oh, you're being overdramatic, or stop, or you're being sensitive, or whatever. That's him taking the lead. Are you really going to tell him not to? And don't fucking bullshit me with the, well, it's just my boundaries. Boundaries of what? A man telling you the truth? If you can't handle a masculine man, then just admit that. Just say that. But to sit here and try to act like he was the problem because he didn't let you get away with stuff? You want to know why I don't buy your bullshit? Because he told you to your face. He clearly liked you and cared for you in order to do that. If he was just a man that was using you, he would villainize you to other people. He would go to his friends.
Nah, he wouldn't give a shit. He'd be pumping. He'd be pumping as freely as possible with very little investment. Hey, one of the most important things, qualities to look for in a woman, is she coachable? Does your woman listen? Does she take direction well? I'm telling you, all the other stats, a lot of them fall to the wayside. You got an unruly woman. You're supposed to be the head honcho. You're leading the house, dude. And you got a woman that don't listen. She's behaving like Israel to your America. You better calm down. Is the tail wagging the dog in this relationship or not? So one of the main things that I hope a lot of men are looking for is not the superficial shit like what's your body count and just getting lied to your face, because no woman will tell you the truth, but giving your woman commands and she follows them without question, with a smile on her face. That's when you know you got it locked down. Do you have to fight with your woman to get her to do something? Do you have to fight with your woman to get her to take direction? Is it a battle? Could you tell your woman right now, delete your Instagram? And what are you going to get? A headache? A battle? But why should I do that? Or is she just going to delete that shit? How much do you really have your woman? A lot of men can't even have that conversation. A lot of men are in a relationship right now. Instagram is more important to your woman. Instagram and TikTok is more important to your woman than you are. Her followers, her little 2,000 followers, her DM attention is more important than how you feel in the relationship. That blows me away. A lot of guys are running a real loose ship when it comes to women. They have no idea. They set themselves up for a world of pain. Dude, you get a woman like that who habitually crosses lines, and then you put a man in front of her that habitually gets his lines crossed, and there's no consequences. You have a toxic mixture where this guy is going to be a shell of his former self. I mean, we're talking that's like cuck in the corner, the chastity, lock and key on his sack. He's going to be the guy that has to ask his wife if he can go to the game with the boys, that kind of shit. I mean, you're going to literally be a husk of your former self. Akash means Jasleen. I don't deal with any of that shit. Hey, every relationship has its up and downs because in the very beginning, you have two people that are meeting and you're actively establishing dominance. Somebody is going to be the dominator in the relationship. Normally, it should be the man. But increasingly, these women, the modern women, have very manly characteristics about them as well. So you're getting men that have been told to be more soft and more feminine. And when you have that clash of the genders and the power dynamics are actively being formed, a lot of men end up losing. Happy wife, happy life. That's a loser. I do whatever my wife says. That's a loser. My wife bosses me around. That's a loser. I got to check in with my wife. That's a loser. If you talk like that, you're a fucking loser. Your relationship is hell. Your wife smashes her work husband. You are pathetic. If you hear a guy say, we share chores around the house, and I change all the diapers, and I also get down and slurp the guy off when he's finished with my wife. Like, what are you talking? Do you have a woman or are you dating a dude? Like that shit, it blows me away. If you're a man and you're doing your job and you're earning bread and you're paying the bills and you're holding down the fort, you better believe you're coming home to fucking Garden of Eden levels of peace and tranquility. If I get a single fucking headache, it's over. I don't pay all these bills. I don't buy you whatever you want. I don't deal with any of this shit to have a headache on my fucking plate as a, come eat this, bro, after a hard day. Headaches, arguments, stress, bullshit. Kick rocks. People hear this shit and even some of the red pill audience hear this and they go, oh my God. There's a post with JD Vance and his wife, Usha Vance. So Usha Vance was getting interviewed and she said the most cucked shit of all time. Not the most cucked shit of all time, but it's so cucked. It's the worst shit you could say for a future president, potentially. They split chores in their house and JD Vance is on primary diaper duty. He changes far more diapers than her. You're telling me to vote for the future world leader, the strong man that we need, and he changes diapers in his house, and so many homos out in the comments section, fagalos just come out there in droves. I change diapers. That's what a man supposed to do. What the fuck does this guy... just because I change diapers doesn't make me a fag. What the fuck is he talking about? You're gay. Shut up, dude. You're gay. Your grandfather, if he could look at you, would look at you and go, God, my grandson is gay. I can't believe what I'm watching. What kind of man changes diapers? Imagine how far left we've shifted that the feminists won so hard, you think it's cool changing diapers. Yeah, does your wife peg you too? Is that how progressive you are? That shit's great. And then you have one guy. It was like one man amongst millions of simps in the comment section. He's like, I got my wife pregnant like 13 times. I never seen a goddamn diaper in my life. Pregnant with my fourth child. 3 little ones around her, running around in the kitchen, still changing diapers. And I was like, oh, look, this is a man. Wow, there's one. All the other simps were like, well, you got lucky. Not all. Shut up, bro. Shut up. What kind of woman did you pick? She's got you changing diapers? It's bad enough already. Now you're telling me that you want to be the president of the United States? You're going to go shake people like Putin's hand? You're going to shake a guy like Putin? You're going to shake that dude's hands with your diaper ass hands? Your wife talking about, he does all the diaper duty. Just reputation destruction from your own woman, just not shutting the fuck up. Literally reputation destruction. This is what women do. They get on the camera and the mic. They say some stupid shit that makes them look all strong, boss babe, and empowered. And then they destroy the credibility of their own men. Usha Vance going in here talking about, and he changes the diapers. And I peg him too. Wow. God, you guys are great. Blows my mind, dude. I couldn't imagine my grandpa, my great-grandfather, my great-great-grandfather just looking at me in the kitchen, changing diapers and shit. The fuck, bro? Get your ass out in the field and work. You're a man. Men work. That diaper shit is for women. You fucking red pillars are always talking about some, red pill, I want base traditional lifestyle. You're doing 50-50 chores with your woman? That word 50-50 exists in your vocabulary. Diapers, bro. Okay. I worry about the bills, sweetheart. My problems are different than yours. I make sure we got a roof over our head, a ton of money so we can go live the life we want. I got shit to worry about. That's just a problem for a man. You deal with that other shit. I'll make sure I hold it down on this side so that you can only focus on your side. I'm not asking you to work. I'm not asking you to 50-50 with me on the lawnmower and all that other shit and fix the car and change the oil and, clean the gutters and all that other shit. I'm not asking you to 50-50 on that. I'm not touching a motherfucking diaper. Don't care. I'll video you changing a diaper. We'll make some videos, home videos, some memories of our family. That's what I'll do. Diaper duty? Okay, bitch, pay the bills. I wish. It would be so alien to hear that from my own woman. She kicks me out of the kitchen. I'm not even allowed to go make my own food. It's her domain. That's how I got it. Some of these guys, bro, it's out of control. I could not imagine my woman literally telling me, go change a diaper. She'd look at me sideways, probably get dry as fuck, not even be attracted anymore. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, my own woman would be disgusted.
Or the internet and be all like, she's like this, da-da-da-da. But he told you. He directed it to you. Okay? And like, women, what is wrong with being humble? Like, sure, I think I'm fucking hot. I think I'm fucking cute.
Oh, Jesus Christ. She started off good. Yeah. Listen, it's the dynamics of a man and a woman. There are gender norms. We're following them. Our predecessors were following them. It worked. I'm not living this progressive lifestyle. Don't give a shit. All of you that want to live a progressive soft boy lifestyle, you're fucking cooked. I'm not into that shit. I'll hold it down on my side, and you do your job. I'm not going to ask you to get up there and fix the motherfucking gutter, so don't ask me to change a diaper. So if you start asking me to do some dumb shit like that, you better start paying bills too. Like, everything is going to start getting split down the middle. And then you end up in this retarded relationship, if you could even call it that, a situationship. You're basically two roommates splitting chores in the house. Get the fuck out of here. I got married so I can change diapers. Huh? I could have been out being a fuckboy. I could have been smashing 10 different chicks, a roster, traveling the world. I'm going to give that up to change diapers. Bros are over here doing 20 fucking hour shifts, coming with the skin off their fucking hands. I'm ready to change diapers, love. Let me take the bait and change some diapers. Huh? Got roughnecks and shit just on the oil jacks, breaking their backs for that black gold, coming home talking about, baby, I'm ready to show you what a real man is. Step aside out the kitchen so I could cook something. What? I'm only touching the fucking grill, G, and steak and any other meat.
I have an amazing personality, but if I fucked up, I'm gonna fucking say it. And it's not because like, oh, I really need to keep this man. I need to do what he wants. No, You apologize.
Hey, I changed diapers, LOL. Part of my job. I take care of sick kids. That's amazing. On ventilators, G-tubes, and oxygen. That's beautiful, actually. That's a badass job, bro. Thank you for being one of those kind, rare souls in the world that helps other people. We need more of that. A lot more of that. Selfless people in the world.
Because you know you did something wrong. So it's not about this man's attention. It's about doing the right thing and knowing that it's the right thing, okay? I don't care if this man started yelling at you. I honestly don't. And you want to know why? Because men don't just do things for no reason, like poof, I'm just going to yell at her. Poof, right? Poof, I just feel like yelling at her. Like, I don't truly believe that men are like that. One-on-one coaching in my bio.
Okay, one-on-one coaching in my bio. Look at the simps. Look, all of this knowledge from a younger woman. We gotta protect her. Yes, queen. The simping, bro. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. He's in her DMs. You know, please coach me. I can change your life. Please, I exist. Fucking simps, dude. They're everywhere. The simpflation, that's the real epidemic. It's not hoflation, it's simpflation. Simpflation preceded, it is the signal to hoflation. If there existed no simps, there would be no hoes. There would be no hoflation. Can't have a hoe without a simp. It is what it is. Because the only thing between a hoe and a simp is money. Remove the money from the simp and the hoe disappears. That's game on your ass. 101 from Unc. Hope you learn about that. Make a simpflation mug? I'll think about it. We'll cover this game theory shit tomorrow. We'll hang out with chat for a little bit. We're done. A Crusade helmet mug. You know, I've been thinking about getting a 3D printer and printing some really dope ass mugs like this. Let me show you this. I'm not even joking. I can mass produce these mugs at home and make my own homemade version of these. It'd be badass. I'm thinking about it. There's still some tea in you. Don't read your previous comments. You're tweaking.
Nice.
Hey, thanks, brother, for the 50. I'm happy, boys. We got all this shit working. Thank the Lord. Give me that. Give me that. Just send it to my house for free. Give me that shit. We was mug makers and shit. We was mug engineers. Give me that. Give me that technology right now. 3D printing. Give me that.
A damp 911 donated $5. I'm falling asleep at my desk. Good night, all.
Thanks, brother. Go get some sleep, dude. Call it a day. Oh shit, followers only. Oh, well, weirdly enough, that bot got through. Thanks for banning his ass. Why am I the, or how am I the only normal white guy on YouTube? You cornered the market by just showing up? How am I the only normal white guy? Am I? That can't be true. I don't know. The thing that shocks people the most is when they get into the private calls with the community and they're like, bro, you're just like your videos. You're just like your videos. You're no different. I'm like, yeah. What is this? Like, you think I'm fucking putting on a show or something? This is all an act. Can you imagine meeting me and it's like a completely different human being? I think that's part of the key here. This kind of authenticity. I guess people in their mind, kind of through the parasocial bonding, build up an idea of who you are, and when they find out like exactly how I sound here is how I talk to people, and it's I guess it's a little bit shocking. But I forgot even what the fuck I was gonna say. My genuineness is refreshing. Thanks, man. Yeah. This is what I was gonna say. The only way to have longevity in this game is to be real, to remove as much friction from the process as possible. So when I get on and stream and speak with you guys and reading the chats and responding, that's just me. There's no friction. I'm talking shit. I love to talk. I got a big fucking mouth. I got in trouble all the time in school and suspended for talking. And I'm just doing what's natural. I don't fucking have any qualms about what I do. I'm chilling. We're sitting. I got onto stream today just randomly because I was sitting here bored. I'm like, I edited all the videos from before. And why not just hop on for a couple hours, just stream, watch some videos, and chat with some people? Fuck it. See what everybody else is doing. Yeah. This is why I last in the game. And this is why I'm able to move from so many verticals. Like, we're able to talk about whatever, any topic. It doesn't matter. We'll get into it. It's interesting. And we can have an evolution because it genuinely interests me. And I genuinely have some knowledge about this shit. Maybe I do have more knowledge than most, like the average person, at least you could say, in some of the topics. But yeah.
At Mark Vendy donated $5. Life with erectile dysfunction isn't easy, but it isn't hard either.
Hey.
Perfect.
That's a good one.
Nice.
Hey, thanks, bro. Yeah, if anybody's interested in getting into the content production game and just having your own challenges, be you. It's the opposite of what you do with women. With women, you just pretend you're putting on a show. You never let her know your true feelings. You're playing your part. You got to be smooth. Yes, you've smashed thousands of chicks. Yes, you're going to make her scream all sorts of O's. You'll be one she never forgets. Yeah, you're a rich multimillionaire. You're all that shit. You got it all. Okay, it's the opposite on YouTube. On YouTube, just be real. Just be yourself. Just literally share your life. That's the gold. That's the unique part of your story that no one can reproduce. If you're going to get on YouTube and talk, I don't know, some fucking general topic, and it's not even relatable to you personally, you're just trying to talk in a general, it just comes off fake. Yeah. Just keep it simple, stupid. Hit the record button. Share your story. It resonates with men, and off you go. It really is that simple. Just get out of your own head. Look, you'll never be able to answer the question of do people want to listen to me until you make a channel and try. That's life. You never know until you try. It's so cringe. It really is, though. But so many men stop themselves. We have this problem all the time. In the private community, dudes are rolling up all the time. Bro, I'm struggling. Something's wrong. Too many ideas. I'm overthinking. I'm kind of paralyzed with choices. Don't know what to do. Hey, I had this idea. I failed. I'm kind of scared to get started again. Hey, I'm also comfortable. You hear like a combination of all these constantly all the time. And just kiss method and retard max it. Keep it simple. Stupid, retard max it. Less thinking, more doing. And eventually you'll find your way. We're retard maxing it with the app that we're constantly testing on stream. with the Claude Code stuff we're learning in the private community. They just released the agentic side. We're learning that. I don't know any of that shit. I have zero experience, bro. I'm not a coder. I'm a fucking knuckle dragger. And yet we're working our way through applications. We're building things that someone like me has no business building. Why try? Because it's interesting. I don't know. It's fun. Why not? Are we going to make millions off our app that we're spending countless hours and money building? I don't know. I don't give a fuck. I'm learning something at least. It's interesting to me. I have addictive personality. When I get into something, I can't stop. And that's great. Yeah, W-2 is over, man. And in the world we're living in today, being a W-2, you might as well peg yourself. You're asking for it. A W-2 is a stepping stone while you become a 1099er. Seriously. The W-2s are the ones that have that anxiety in them, that they feel like they could be replaced at any moment. They're the biggest haters too. It'll be the W-2s hating on you trying to become a 1099. Guarantee it. Another motherfucking 1099er isn't going to tell you don't start your own business. Hey, don't go your own way. It's always a W-2 or, hey, bro, just chill. You're making a solid, steady paycheck. Don't go anywhere. I've been at my company for 20 years. Hey, this is more than enough. They'll cope. You clock in, dude. Your life is hell. You clock into work. 1099 on that gangster shit. Kill what you eat. You only get paid to perform. That's the life you want to live. Not the W-2 slave shit. And everybody was a W-2. I was a W-2 slave. I understand where the bitch assness comes from the W-2 mentality. I get it, bro. This is your life. It's a brutal realization. Soul crushing. Mediocre existence. You wake up in the morning. Knees over the side of the bed. You just exhale dread. Your fucking clock is going, slap that shit. Racing through your brain is another day of this soul fucking crushing job that I hate to go to. God damn it, I hate the people I work with. All this fake shit I have to deal with. This work that's breaking my back. I don't even get paid enough to deal with this shit. I feel trapped. There's no way out. Is this really my life? Is this all there is to life? I cannot be stuck here. How is it possible? Who's at fault here? Why am I forced to live this life? As you go walk to your bathroom, scratching your ass and you start brushing your teeth and you're looking in the mirror and you see yourself defeated, tired, ready to fucking clock in as soon as you walk in the doors. Clock in like a good little cattle, good little goy, to make your $15 an hour or whatever bullshit, the peanuts they give you. Just enough so you can survive, enough to go make them more money the next day. And you find yourself daydreaming in the middle of your fucking shift, dozing out while your fucking retard co-workers telling some stupid bullshit story about his kids or his day or some other variation of shit you don't care about hearing. Day in and day out, bro. You're staring at the ceiling. It's just in the side of your ear. It's just dull. You can't even make up the words and you're just looking and going, fuck my life. Is this really all there is to this? That's you. That's you, W-2. I was there, I know. I remember vividly, very clearly, at my dead end, little shitty job at AutoZone, and just staring in between the parts aisles and going, is this my life? Is this my peak? Is this all there is? I dream of so much more. I want so much more. Please, God, give me a chance. Something. Show me the way. I can't die, and this is where I end up. There has to be more to life than this. And then you go searching. And then you become obsessed to find an answer. And then you start to build out solutions for yourself. So, If you want it, there is a way out. Not many men want it. That's the brutal, that's the black pill of men. You can take a horse to water, you can never make him drink. A lot of men want to escape their shitty positions, but don't want to work to get out of that shit. It's hell. The work is hell. It's not fun. I lost my friends. I lost my social life. I had to become a hermit. All I did was eat, sleep, drink, dream work. I worked 100+ hour weeks. My weekends and week doesn't exist. I didn't know what the fuck a weekend was. It was just another work day. Many people claim they got what it takes, the fire to escape. But if you really did, you would have. Yeah. But low key, how can everyone be a leader? That's the point. Not everyone will be a leader. Listen, that's the point. You can say this out loud and give people the key. 99% of men won't do shit. 99% of men are destined to be average. Do you understand? If you're thinking of escaping, you're already doing better than most. If you actually put a plan into action, you're in the 0.1% of men. Dude, stop doom maxing and do the news. I ain't doing the news. You missed it already. Show's over. Show's over, bro. You know what's nice though? You want to see what it's like on the other side? Let me show you what it's like. When I was down as fuck in college, this is how down I was. I was eating peanut butter and jellies. I won't go through the whole story again, but I'll tell you what it's like on the other side. Imagine you have that dead-end job I described. Your food budget, well, mine at the time was $50 a month. I survived off peanut butter and jellies 2 times a day. Struggling to say the least. And then just a few decisions. And literally within 12 months, peanut butter jelly is still my comfort food. I'll eat that shit till I die. I mean, my skin won't allow me to eat bread like that. But I love me a PB&J. Toasted too. And within months, let's just say like 8-9 months of opening my business, something like that. Doesn't matter. Just remember this clear distinction between being broke and struggling, and then you flip a switch like this because of some decisions you made, good decisions, and all of a sudden you're at a restaurant with a fine piece and you're spending $900 on a fucking A1 Wagyu steak, or A5 Kawasaki or whatever it's called. I don't even remember the name. A5 Kawasaki Wagyu. That was the money that's more than the budget you had for the entire month. You now spend on a meal and you don't look at the check. You're earning so much money that you can now afford to do things without looking at price tags. You can fly without worrying how much it costs. You can buy something, a shirt, pants, shoes, the price tag, not a concept. It's a very fucking nice feeling. It feels free. You work when you want, and the money you're making in a day is more than people earn in a month. And that feeling's insane. It's insane. It's exhilarating. It's like you get to finally breathe again. You felt like this is the first time you've gotten to live. It's a nutty feeling. Yeah. Is this live? Yeah. But besides all that stupid shit, all the material possessions you could spend your money on, like when I started buying things, when I started making a lot of money, ironically, I didn't want anything because it could be bought. So when I was poor, I wanted expensive things. Then when I got money, all those things were no longer expensive, so I didn't want them. So it's kind of stupid how that works. Just in stores, looking casually at watches that were more than my yearly salary. And just going like, yeah, okay, whatever. This watch is gay. Not into watches. Yeah, anyways. And then you start using your money for different things. Now I use my money on family and friends, to be honest, like memories and experiences. I'll blow stacks to travel, be at nice restaurants, to have incredible memories with my family, my woman. That's it. I don't need shit, dude. I mean, look, I get on stream, I'm wearing my own clothes. So, I retired my parents early. I pay their bills. My woman gets her little allowance. She's happy. My family's healthy. Everyone is set up. We got money. Not a problem. I don't spend money on shit. Life is good. Got no headaches. And that's it, man. How it's supposed to be. I'm not bothered. Yeah. And it was hard work to get here, but worth it. So if you're thinking of starting your own business and all this shit, it's worth it. It's worth it failing. Oftentimes what you learn from your failure is more important than the actual thing you were attempting anyways. Yeah, major life goal. Retiring my family is so cool. I posted that shit. Well, not the moment I retired them, but I posted the moment I reunited my mom with my grandma. She hadn't seen her in, God, I don't know how long it's been. It was like probably 15 years. And so when I retired my parents, we surprised my grandma in Romania. And my parents came, I think a couple of months after I had left. And my grandma was like smoking meat and shit in the back. She was like hanging up a bunch of meat to smoke out. And my mom and my dad just surprised her. She had no idea. It was so cool. I had that moment recorded. So that was like a little thing I had in my head. Like, I got to get to this point. I got to get to this point. It'll be so cool to finally feel this feeling. So, man, it's a great feeling, dude. Yeah. Those are the moments that stick with you. And then I would go, obviously, visit with my parents, my grandma. We would have like those awesome cookouts the families would do. And I'm sitting there like at the end of the table and I'm watching my entire family together. And I made that shit happen. I'm just thinking in my head, like, you crazy fucker, you managed to do this. I was dreaming of this shit. Literally, it would be daydreaming of these moments. Being able to retire my parents and eat together at a table with the family while everyone's still alive and healthy. And I did it. And I was like, holy shit. Yeah. To see your father, who put in decades of hard work in construction, broke his body. You know what it's like. There's a stucco mason and all that shit. And to see he's chilling, relaxed, bro. He goes on walks on the beach. They live on the beach. My parents go on walks on the beach and the boardwalk. They're tan half the time. That's great. They call me and they send me videos and shit all the time. I speak with them often. They just send me videos of walking on the boardwalk. They're like, hey, look at the weather. So nice. And I'm just like, fuck yeah, worth it. Worth it. All the struggle, all the risk, all of that shit, worth it. Wouldn't change that shit. It's an amazing feeling, boys. If you can hold on to that while you're building, you'll get to where you need to go, believe me. I vividly imagine this shit. I would see the feelings in their face. Their expressions. Yeah. Would do it 10 times over. No. If I had to go back to being a wagey cuck, I'd fucking... I don't want to be hyperbolic. I was gonna say, get acquainted with a Remington. But honestly, I would do everything I could to escape. I would try literally anything and everything. Anything and everything possible to make it out. Yeah. So. Hi, Scottsdale in the house. Would you rather work a dead end and 9-to-5 job or marry a liberal feminist? Fuck. That's a good question for me personally. Wow. Liberal feminist or dead end job? Shit. I think I'd have to go a liberal feminist and have pieces on the side. Fuck it. I can't do a 9-to-5, bro. That's hell. That's hell. That means your limit. You've reached your limit. 9-to-5. You're done. You're done. Unless that 9-to-5 is a CEO position. Let's be real here. But I know that's not what you're talking about. So if we're making millions of dollars out of 9-to-5 like some CEO, okay, cool. I'll take that. But if we're talking a soul destroying 9-to-5 like we're a warehouse packer or some shit, fuck. You get no bitches, zero bitches, no hoes, no women matching you. You're a warehouse packer. You're not getting paid enough, breaking your back lifting boxes and shit. And the alternative is a bitch of a wife, a super fucking feminazi. Oof. That's rough. That's rough. That's a rough one. Golly. What's your opinion on quantum tech that will break encryption and crypto? Nothing. There'll be quantum proof, obviously. You will get quantum encryption, bro. It's fine. Systems that don't upgrade in time will get fucked, but otherwise you're good. All right, boyos, we got to call it. We got to go work on the app. We got to export the logs. Find out what's going on with SubLogic. Patch some bugs. And then go relax. You are way late. Anyways, appreciate you guys for tuning in and hanging out. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll do the regular time. I want to say 11 or 12 Pacific. I'm not sure. I'll schedule it out. I'll try to schedule it out, honestly. And we'll see what we're covering. I don't think I have anything to cover in regards to Iran. Our video still aged like a fine wine, and hostilities resumed. So yeah, we got to wait for something else major to develop first. Probably in a few days, we're going to see the market obviously tick up again. It's just the up and down. The market's going to find out soon. So what people don't know about the market, I guess I could share this part at least, because I've been thinking about it over the last day. When you see the prices of oil go down to like 92, 95, whatever it did based on the ceasefire news, just know it's temporary. That's just a knee-jerk reaction from the market. It's not staying below 100. $150 a barrel, especially if we keep extending this shit, is highly likely. 120 a barrel is just likely because we have two problems. The infrastructure is getting destroyed, and currently new infrastructure got bombed over the past day. So production is never going to be the same for the next couple of years. That's one. So we have a supply constraint. And number two, The boats that are already on the water are like 1 or 2 weeks away from fully unloading. So the current supply that is already available is being drained, and the current supply that countries have, their reserves, are being drained. And so when you put these things together, you start to find out that no matter what happens, ceasefire or not, global energy will tick up, inflation will tick up, cost of living will tick up. Whether the war ends today or not, it doesn't matter. If you're a trader, the volatility in the market is extremely, extremely good for you right now. You can make buku money. Volatility is a trader's dream. But for the bozos that are looking at the price and thinking, that's it, here we go, oil is down, so gas is going down. No. The price at the pump is going to keep going up. Okay? When they said short-term pain, long-term gain, they were bullshitting. It's short-term pain, long-term hell. We're going to be multiple years away to resume normal production. And that is with current inflation. So we're not pricing in the inflation of the future. We're not pricing in any disturbances in the private credit market. We're not pricing in a potential yen carry trade unwinding. We're not pricing in other disruptions from the markets, like there's no helium for chips. There is no materials to build the data centers. All that money in AI is going to evaporate. The data centers haven't been targeted yet, but they could. So once all that money goes away, this positive growth we've had in the GDP turns negative all of a sudden. All of a sudden, we're in a recession officially. You think it's bad now? Just wait until we post a negative quarter. You think the market is spooked now? You have no idea. We have a lot of things that are building up for long-term pain. But the bozos, they read the headlines on like Fox News and they're like, yes, Daddy Trump. Yes. Yeah, you see that? He got a deal. We're going to allow Iran to run a toll out of Hormuz. Fuck yeah, all for peace. What do you know, Bo, about geopolitics? This is a win. You wanted him to nuke them or something? Did you want fucking Kamala? Huh? TDS is showing. Your TDS is showing. It's like, hey, bro, the fucking Hormuz was already open before we got into the war. You mean it's a W now that Iran charges a toll for it? So everybody's got to pay now. Oh, that's a win? Okay, art of the deal, I guess. And then they say some shit like, you fucking would have voted for Kamala? What's the difference at this point? Don't you know this is a fucking uniparty? There's no difference between a Republican and a Democrat. What the fuck did you get with Trump that you wouldn't have gotten with Kamala? Did the Epstein files get released under Dems? No. Was it supposed to get released under Trump? That's what he ran on. Release the files. You didn't get the files. You wouldn't have got mass deportation under Kamala. And you sure as fuck didn't get mass deportation under Trump. They already shut that program down. Actually, they're granting amnesty. There's 20 Republicans and 20 Democrats. There's a bipartisan bill that's being passed called Dignidad. They have it in Spanish, the Dignity Bill. Yes. And there's funny provisions in there, like for the lawyers that defend illegals successfully, the state has to reimburse them. So taxpayer money goes to fund the lawyers defending the illegals. Bet you didn't read that one in the bill. That is a Republican-sponsored bill by Lawler, who is paid by AIPAC. So the Republicans and the Democrats are supporting amnesty. Is there any difference? Talk to me. Iran. We would have, before we got into the war with Iran, we would have for sure, Kamala would have got us into a war with Iran. What'd you just get with Trump? So mass deportations, no. Iran war, no. Epstein files, no. Amnesty for illegals that are already here, yeah. So it's like, hey, Democrat or Republican, what's the difference at this point? There is no difference, bro. The more things change, the more things stay the same. Yeah, the only way the paradigm breaks is when people stop voting Republican or Democrat. Like once you're over this dichotomy of Republican, Democrat, right or left. Like once you're really based and awake at the haves versus have-nots, you understand it's a class struggle and not your retarded left versus right paradigm, then you've woken up. Until then, you're a goy. You're a good little fucking slave. You will continue voting for eating shit or what else? Garbage. You're not getting anything. Shit sandwich or a shit burger. Right and left. If you call yourself a right-winger, left-winger, if you call yourself a conservative, if you call yourself a liberal, if you call yourself a Republican or Democrat, you're a goytard. You're dumb as shit. That's the exact narrow definition they want you in because that's how they keep power. They keep you divided. Instead of coming together and kicking them out of power, we're fighting over the gayest shit imaginable. You're a conservative, bro. What have you conserved? Kids are having their dicks cut off. Yeah. Gay dudes can adopt kids. Yeah. Men can walk into women's bathrooms. What'd you conserve, conservatives? You've done fucking nothing. Okay, liberals are just like full steam ahead in the crazy. You guys, done nothing. Millions of babies being aborted. Where are you at? Not doing a goddamn thing. Not doing shit. So, right versus left. What a fucking clown show. Yeah. I'm starting to think that the real enemies of the state, the domestic terrorists, are really the people. I wouldn't call them terrorists, but the domestic enemies among us are the people that say stupid shit like, you know, TDS. If you're one of the people that defended Biden when you were on the left, you're probably a domestic enemy. If you're one of the people right now defending Trump as he's dragging America down with the senseless war, unforced error after unforced error, if you utter the words TDS at this point in his presidency, you're a domestic enemy. You're a traitor to the United States. There's no fucking way you're not a foreign operative. You're getting paid. You want to see the country be destroyed. You're a domestic threat. Truly. Yeah. Every time I read TDS, it's coming from one of these bot-looking accounts or some boomer. I digress, though. All right, boys. We're calling it. Have a good night, guys. And we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate everybody that's donated. Everybody that's been getting a sick new merch. Everybody in the private community that supports everybody stuffed on Kick, man. You guys are the best, honestly. And thank you so much for your continued support. Always tuning in and hanging out with me in the chats, making this shit interesting. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everybody.